I am Jeffrey Daugherty, your friendly neighborhood Christian whistleblower. Welcome to the Jeffrey Daugherty Show, Gospel Truth channel. And we're going to talk today about the new temple. And it's really new temple, same as the old temple. And I want to get right into the lesson. So let's go ahead and jump right in feet first. I want to go ahead and show you exactly what I'm talking about, because this, to me, it hit me like the proverbial ton of bricks the other day. Powerful stuff, sobering stuff, really mind-bending kind of stuff. And I know I said the show was going to start at 2. I just couldn't wait that long. Great Mistech order going out today. If you want to get the bands that will change your life, no doubt about it. Some have even said they're magic bands. In fact, I'm going to go off a screen share and I'm going to read you something real quickly that I just got today. And this is the real deal, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to show it to you because it's got the person's name. But let me just show you. Let me give you a little bit of this and see what you think about that. Dear Jeff, I've been wearing the bracelets for about a week now, and I surprisingly feel a difference. My body doesn't ache like it used to. My strength is up. I'm hoping it will help me focus much better. And my mind does seem to be more clear than usual. Thanks to you, brother. That's how he spelled it. And Mistech. And that is from my friend, Gene. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Go to jeffreydaugherty.com, click on the Mistech logo, follow the simple instructions, and please do let me know which bands you want, and do let me know your mailing address, because it's hard to guess which address to send your stuff to. So let's go ahead and get right into our study tonight. The temple. Now, you guys are familiar with the temple. You know what the temple is in Jewish and biblical parlance. So let's look at this. Paul, writing in 1 Corinthians chapter 3, says, "Don't you know that you are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwells in you? And if anyone defiles the temple, that person God's going to destroy, because the temple of God is holy, which temple you are." So Paul is saying you're the temple. Now, that's a big change, because if you remember, Paul's writing this, Corinthians, in the 40s or 50s AD. The temple is going to be destroyed in about 20 years. Think about that. Paul says you're the temple of God. Now, these people were probably thinking to themselves, the temple's already here. I think Paul knew the temple was going to be destroyed, and he was preparing people. He had a long-term view. He knew that his words were going to be read by people down the line after the temple was destroyed. Paul the Roman, Paul with the intimate connections to Nero, he knew that the temple was going to be destroyed. So he's preparing people with a whole new paradigm, a whole new theology, while the temple still stood. It must have blown some people's minds. What does Paul mean? The temple's right there. How can he say we're the temple when there's the temple right there? Paul was thinking long term. Paul was planning for things down the line. And Paul's like, look, we got to get ready for a whole new paradigm shift. And we're going to talk about that as we move along. And as you look at I don't know if you noticed the show picture, but I'm going to bring it back up for you. Here's the show picture. The new temple, same as the old temple. Think about what went on in the temple. Well, here you are, you're looking at it. The main thing that was going on in that temple was what? Sacrifice. Blood sacrifice on the altar. That's the main thing that was going on in the temple. But what else was going on in the temple? Remember when the Christ marched in there, he stopped 2 things. He stopped the sacrifice, And he also stopped the oblation or the selling of animals for sacrifice. So the Christ stopped the selling of animals for sacrifice, and Christ stopped the sacrifice. And this was before Paul wrote the book of Corinthians. That Christ had already marched in there. You know the story. He turned over their tables. He set all their animals free. He took a whip and beat those fools. I've got a whip over here on my door. Don't ask me why. I could show that to you. But he took that thing and whipped them. And like the old meme says, when someone asks you WWJD, remind them that getting a whip and beating some fools up is not totally out of the question. It is one of the things that WWJD, right? Anyway, so the temple is about getting money from fools, and the temple is about sacrificing for fools. So think about that. Think about that. The temple is for two things. The temple is for money raising, and the temple is for bloodshed and sacrifice. No way around that. That's just the reality of what the temple was. The temple was for blood sacrifice. The temple was for raising money. Now, think about what Paul said. Paul said, "You're the new temple." And think about it in the context of what the Christ said. The Christ said, listen, don't do any more blood sacrifice, and you don't have to get any money. You don't have to give any money. So think about what Paul is saying in context with what the Christ said. So the Christ upset their whole, you got to understand what the Christ did, man. He goes into that place, stops the main flea market in Jerusalem. You got to remember, all Jewish people, all Jewish males had to come to Jerusalem 4 times a year. And brother, you know they're having a big flea market every time those people had to come to Jerusalem, because they had to come to Jerusalem. They had to do sacrifice, and the entrepreneurial Jewish people in Jerusalem are saying, let's sell some doves. Let's sell some bulls. Let's sell some goats. Let's sell some lambs. And you know they were jacking up the price because it was Passover price. And the Christ goes in there and stops all that. No more money, no more buying and selling of animals for sacrifice. He cut into their profit margin, ladies and gentlemen. He cut off one of the main, there's people that made their living, ladies and gentlemen, selling animals for sacrifice. It was so lucrative that they could just work those 4 holy days of the year. Imagine you could work just the 4 holy days of the year, and you could sell enough sacrificial animals that you can make your living for the whole rest of the year. Think about that. Here comes the Christ, healing people, raising the dead, doing all kinds of miracles, telling people that they don't have original sin. They got the spark of divinity within. Telling people they don't have to do sacrifice, telling people they don't have to pay money. To say that he was messing up the whole religious apple cart, like Bonsai says, the Christ was bad for business. And now here's Paul just a few years later. And you know, once the genie's out of the bottle, it's hard to get him or her back in. You can't unring that bell. So here's Paul trying to repair the damage. Here's Paul trying to replace the income lost from the temple. Here's Paul trying to replace the power and prestige lost from the temple. And remember, Paul's framing it in helping to replace what the Christ cost them. But Paul, he's thinking long term. This temple's about to be burned to the ground. Paul, the Roman, knew it. Do you think it's just a coincidence that he happened to leave Jerusalem about 63-ish before the temple got destroyed? You think that his good buddy Nero didn't say, hey, listen, bro, we're fixing to lower the boom. You better get the hell out of Dodge. Of course he knew. So Paul is replacing the income that the Christ cost him, plus Paul is looking at the future when there's not going to be any temple as a generating source of income. Now watch this, ladies and gentlemen. Watch this. I remember being in the Christian church, and we used to sing these songs, know you not, you are the temple. You're the temple of the Holy Ghost. We celebrate it. We're the temple. We feel so good because we're the temple. We feel so proud because we're the temple. We feel so happy because we're the temple. They've got you celebrating that you're the temple, but what does it really mean? What does it really mean, ladies and gentlemen? You are the temple. So let's look at this. Don't you know you're the temple? Don't you know you're the profit center? They used to get their money from the temple. Where do they get it from now? They get it from you because you're the temple. You still want to sing songs about it? You still feel all happy about it? I remember when I was bodybuilding, it was back in the day where we'd wear the old leather weight belts, and on the back mine said, my body's a temple. God shouldn't have to live in a shack. I'm happy. I'm a temple. But what I don't realize is the temple is the profit center. You're the new temple. You're the new profit center. You're the new bitch that's paying the bills. You're the profit center. You're the temple. How do you feel about it now? Still want to sing a song? But what else happened in that temple? What else happened in that temple? Know you not that you're the temple? Know you not that you're the profit center? Know you not that you're the temple? Know you not that you're also the sacrificial lamb? You're the sacrificial lamb. You're the bull. You're the goat. You're the turtle dove. You're the one that's sacrificing your spiritual essence to them. You're the one that has allowed them to convince you, as I check this to make sure. Oh, it looks like we've got a show coming up with Jay Campbell and Rex Bear later today. You're the one that they're making money off of, and you're the one that is providing the energetic sustenance of sacrifice. You're the temple. Do you still feel like you want to sing a song about it? Do you still feel excited that you're the temple? Do you still feel happy that you're the temple? Do you still feel proud that you're the temple? And watch this last part. You're the new temple, same as the old temple. You're the new temple. The old temple was the profit center. You're the new profit center. The old temple was the center for the energetic expression of sacrificial bloodshed energy. You're the new sacrifice. New temple, same as the old temple. But watch this, it's even more. Remember, it was the Christ that messed up this whole paradigm. Turned over the tables, set the animals free, said you don't have to do any more blood sacrifice, water baptism, forget about this whole sin thing. You're born with the spark of divinity within, not original sin. So what have they done? What have they done? And it's brilliant. Walk into any Catholic church, look up at the front, you got dead guy on a stick. Dead guy Jesus on a stick. Walk into any Protestant church, look up front, what do you got? Dead guy stick. We don't got the dead guy up there anymore, but we all know he was there. And in the Catholic Church, they're admitting that they're eating his body. They're admitting that they're drinking his blood. In the Protestant churches, they're pretending it's only symbolic. So the Catholics know that they're cannibals. The Protestants are proud to only be symbolic cannibals. But watch what they've done. What used to be in the temple? Sacrifice. Bulls, goats, doves, birds, right? Now the sacrifice is you, really. But they've taken the Christ who messed up their whole thing, and they've made him the sacrifice. That's brilliant. It's maniacally brilliant. It's malevolently brilliant. It's diabolically brilliant, but it's brilliant. The guy that said no more sacrifices, the guy that marched into the old temple and stopped the sacrifices, they've got him front and center as the ultimate sacrifice. It's the ultimate boop. It's the ultimate screw you to the Christ. We're going to make you the sacrifice that you stopped. It's just like all these poor, pitiful, foolish eschatology people teaching Jesuit doctrine for eschatology, the Marzulis, the Clarks, and all the rest of the chuckleheads, teaching doctrine in Protestant churches that was created to combat the Protestant Reformation. Folks, if you just took a step back and looked at things objectively, you'd be saying, wow, we have really been conned. You're the temple. You're the new temple, same as the old temple. You're the profit center. You're the profit center, and you are the provider of the sacrificial energy. And the guy that set you free, the Christ specifically, that set us free from religion, is now been perpetually featured as the sacrifice that he himself expressly said don't do anymore. That's what you call a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. That's what you call reframing. It's diabolical, but it is genius. And if it's not for people like former 20-year Pentecostal evangelists, Bible college graduates with 100,000 hours of study like myself, you would never even know this. And let me remind you in closing that the Bible does not say the truth will set you free. That's a fallacy. What the Bible says is you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Ergo, truth that you don't know has no liberating power in your life. That's why I'm here, trying to bring truth to your life so you can know it and it can set you free. It's harder. It's easier to fool somebody than to convince them they've been fooled. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying. I'll take a quick look into the chat room, see if there's any questions that I can answer. And then we're going to be wrapping this up, getting ready for some Jay and some Rex later on. That's going to be several hours from now. I've got some other stuff cooking that I think you're going to enjoy between now and then. I appreciate the pleasantries. We're just going to get in there and see if there's any great questions that I can address. Thank you for all the great comments. We lent our money to the false god while they fatten their calf. I think it is Lent right now, and I would encourage you to give up Christianity for Lent. Once the genie's out of the bottle, you can't put her back again, or him back again. Bonsai says we got pimped. Yes, we did. Yes, we are. They're doing even worse at the Vatican. They may very well be. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. New temple, Same as the old temple. The old temple was a profit center. You're the new temple. You're the new profit center. The old temple was a place of gathering energy from sacrifice. You're the new temple. You're the new energy center for sacrifice. And the one that came to show us how to be free, they've co-opted him. They've hijacked him. And they've made him the dead guy on a stick, the central sacrifice, when he said, don't do any more sacrifice. Folks, that's what you call being put together, and not in a good way. Remember the Mystic bands, they will change your life. Remember the divining rods, remember the books, the t-shirts, all the great stuff that we have at jeffreydarty.com. Help me help you. And I'm here, ladies and gentlemen. And boy, what a week we've got coming up. You're not even going to believe how much good stuff we've got coming up. You make this possible. We're going to be on the road starting in a day or two. Guide your own spirit. Master your own ascension. Be your own guru. You're the Gospel Truth Army. I salute you. March on, asking questions, questioning answers. Stay fearless, my friends. Wait for it. Unindoctrinate yourself.